Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to be looking at a clip that's been sent in by one of my viewers. That's usually the case here on my channel, but Phil, my viewer, is a long-standing viewer. He's sent in many clips. You've probably seen some of his videos that he has sent across. He's the guy that drives the big crane. This is some of Phil's footage. It's from Nice Driving 28. Previous to this, Phil had let a van driver come past them, and the van driver had sussed this awkward section of road and had held up all the other traffic so Phil, in his massive crane, could go through without problems. A lovely situation. Phil didn't even know the driver of this van. Great work. Now, I do have to warn you though, there's a fair bit of swearing in this footage. Phil is the only person in the car, and he's obviously the only person driving. Let's crack on with the clip straight away. First of all, Phil's approaching a roundabout. We've got a national speed limit sign either side. We've got some nice crispy VFO footage at the bottom. The top isn't VFO, but you'll still get an idea of what's going on. The junction to the left-hand side is where we should be watching now because it's the driver of this white Audi SUV who's the star of the clip. I've also overlaid the speed in the bottom corner, and this is where the swearing starts.
You can fuck off.
I'm not sure what's riled Phil over this. He's got this situation under control. Although it is a national speed limit section, he's got a big space out in front of him. The Audi driver is way too close though, but Phil's got this covered. Let's see how he deals with the approach to this roundabout. It's obviously downhill because we've got the escape lane for the HGVs to the left-hand side. And Phil approaches nicely. It's nice and smooth and he takes a nice gap. He does straight line it. However, I think that's probably the best idea in this situation because it's not very long. If he had stayed around the left-hand side there, it might have been a little bit of a pinch point if the Audi driver had have overtaken. Now, watch the Audi driver now. That's quite aggressive.
Don't fucking blame me, darling. You can ring me if you want.
True, the driver of this Audi could overtake quite comfortably and they've got space too. They are driving still way too close, but still Phil's got this one covered. How does he approach this roundabout? Nice and smoothly. Again, picks a nice gap and flows through. No issues. Again, another steep downhill section. And it's down at these lights where this escalates. I think this tailgater finally gets to Phil because this is where his actions could have been improved a little bit here. I don't think that was needed. The space that Phil's got in between himself and the vehicle that is at the front of the lights is fine. That's definitely a reprimand. I get it when people do tailgate, it gets to some people, but honestly, there is no need. Phil had this covered.
Me?
We can't tell what the lady behind is saying. I've tried listening to the audio in big detail, but it's impossible to pick out. The captions at the bottom are probably what Phil said. Again, it's not perfectly clear.
You're sticking up my fucking ass ain't going to make me go any quicker, is it? Now fuck off, you bitch! Fuck off!
At this point in time, I would say that lady in the Audi behind has won. They've got to you, Phil. There was no need for that. However, Phil does let it go. I'll get the clip going again. But that's definitely antagonistic on Phil's part. There's no need for it. This is a good idea, though, to allow the driver to be on the way. It's a little bit of a shame that because
fucking earlier, you dopey cow.
okay, yeah, I get it.
Hoo-hoo.
Okay, I'm just going to pause it there just for a little moment. But that little bit at the lights was the bit that Phil let himself down. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he realised he did. Sorry. Um, he had it covered throughout the whole clip. The space in front was always big. He was slowing early. He was managing the tailgater nicely behind. I'm actually surprised that he let it get to him, but we all have days like that. Now, let's just watch the driver of this Audi over the next little bit towards the end of this clip. Look at them now tailgating that vehicle in front. That vehicle goes to the right at the next roundabout, but instantly the driver of the Audi goes on to tailgate the one in front. Looks like it's a Mini. And look closely what they do as they come out of that roundabout across the other side. They're overtaking already. So that driver isn't just like that to Phil. And Phil's probably taking this a little personally. And that's the end of the footage. It was a little bit of a shame, that last little piece of the video. Phil had done a pretty good job throughout most of the clip. He'd had a few little swear words to himself, but he'd managed that risk nicely. Maybe just make a little bit more progress. I think Phil did possibly get into the mindset of he was still possibly driving the lorry. However, you don't have to. There's no minimum speed limit on that section. That lady was going to be pushing everyone. She must have been late and doesn't understand that it's probably not going to get her any further. But going back to what I said about that lady one, see whether if you find yourself in a situation like that, that you can act in a slightly different manner, in a slightly different way. Don't lose your ride. Try not to interact, because then if you do it in that way, you're the winner. And it makes your day a lot calmer as well. Um, Big thanks to Phil again, sending that clip in. Hopefully, loads of people are going to learn from that. I'm sure they will. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Keep safe, and I'll see you soon.